set.
Yeah, she was really the difference maker in game one and just slammed the door just 45 minutes ago. But Mississippi State hitters have been completely off balance against Sam Landry so far in this series, and she has really done a good job of tunneling her pitches and getting defensive swings from a Mississippi State team that has a tremendous offense. We saw it in game two earlier today. So really expecting to see her continue to mix speeds and keep these hitters off balance.
Just a beautiful evening here at Lux Field. The wind has died just a little bit. It's coming out of the west at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Fans are still kind of filing back in. They got them all out of here in between games and could not ask for a better evening to complete this three-game series. We take a look at the lineup. First off, for former Oklahoma Sooner Samantha Ricketts and her Mississippi State Bulldogs, just trying to get back on track. And they had a different mindset coming out in game number 2 of the series earlier today. Sierra Sacco leads the SEC in hitting as she comes in with a hefty .493 average. She hit her 9th home run of the season in the earlier matchup. Then it's Barbary and Edwards, Morgan Stiles and Morgan Bernardini, Jesse Blaine, then Ella Wesolowski. And we'll see a little bit of a change. Kiara Sells is going to be down in the number 9 spot, and we'll see Lexi Sosa pitch and also hit, at least for now, in the number 8 spot in the lineup. So what does that mean with Lexi Sosa hitting and pitching in this game?
Lexi Sosa can do a little bit of everything, and she had a pinch hit opportunity in game 1 earlier today. She's just an athlete. She is a pitcher who is a pure athlete. So looking for Sosa, if you're Mississippi State, to come into this game early and set a tone in the circle.
And speaking of setting a tone, that's what the ace of this Oklahoma pitching staff, Sam Landry, has done. But here she has to face one of the hottest hitters and so far the best hitter in the SEC this year, Sierra Sacco. Homered on the first pitch of game 1 today. So far in the series, she is 2 out of 7 with the home run earlier. 54 runs scored. Top 10 in the country in batting average, hits, runs, and on-base percentage. Could go on and on and on about what she has done in her second season as Bulldog.
And just the versatility that Sacco brings. You know, we've talked about her coming in as a lefty, did a lot of slapping last year and had a good season, but being able to add some power to her arsenal, it just makes her so difficult to deal with. And you add on top of all of that, she's got 15 stolen bases on the year too. So just everything that she does is such a threat at the plate, on the base paths, and she's just been an absolute leader for this Mississippi State offense.
Popped up. Oklahoma shortstop Gabby Garcia squeezes out number 1. So Sam Landry has just been excellent. She's got now 24 appearances. This is her 16th start. 120 strikeouts. She has pitched over half of Oklahoma's innings in SEC play. And 11 complete games, including one back on Friday night between these two teams.
She has really taken on the brunt for this staff. And a big key as she gets Barbary to ground out for the second out of the inning. Such a big key that has led to some of Landry's success in the SEC is allowing her defense to work and feeding her infield.
Base is empty, 2 gone. Kylie Edwards, the shortstop, is in. Mississippi State. Edwards 1 for 2 in the earlier game, scored a run, drove in a run. Was 0 for 3 back on Friday night. Starting shortstop the last 2 seasons for the Bulldogs. She used to barrel race and show pigs in her youth. Yeah, that got you by surprise. Her mom was a barrel racer. That one hits the bag at third. It's a fair ball, and it will be a base hit with 2 down for Kylie Edwards.
Ground ball hitting the bag and just up over the head of Nellie McEnroe Marinas. And something for Mississippi State. You go back to game 1 earlier today. Game 2 of the series, game 1 earlier today. Mississippi State had success when they were putting the ball on the ground and able to string some things together, get runners in scoring position, and then getting that clutch hit. So important, especially against Sam Landry, for them to get the ball out of the air and put a good swing on the ball.
Morgan Styles, the batter. Oh, 2 quickly to Styles. Styles was 1 for 4 in the earlier game today. She's 2 for 6 in the series and has reached base safely in 8 straight games. Sam Landry came on in relief in the earlier game today. Went the final inning and 2/3, didn't allow a hit. So in the series so far, she's just 8 2/3 innings and has allowed 3 hits and no runs. Pretty dominant for Sam Landry. That's been the case for her most of the season. The transfer from Louisiana.
You even go back to the Alabama series down in Tuscaloosa just a week ago. Took the loss on Monday, but still, you look at that body of work in that game. She threw well enough to win that ball game. And you talk to Coach Gasso, very pleased with the outings that she has had, and may not have been in the win column, but still a place for her to build and continuing to just get better every outing.
Count stays 2-2 to Morgan Styles. Eight-time national championship winning head coach, 4 in a row for the Sooners. And she said, sometimes I have to remind myself to remind my team of what it is to carry the OU on your shirt. You go into visiting places. She said Alabama last weekend, they were waiting, and the fan base was waiting. She said it felt like that the crowd was in the Oklahoma dugout, just on them.
And that's such a tough environment. And as you think about it, I think people who have been around the game for a long period of time, people who have watched kind of the evolution of the sport, you expected Alabama fans to be waiting for the Sooners to roll into Tuscaloosa, and that's exactly what happened. And Coach Gasso kind of had an interesting take on it, of kind of saying she's not quite sure that they were ready, and she blamed herself a little bit for that.
She said it was a bit like getting a dose of their own medicine, what opposing teams feel like when they come to the Women's College World Series or to Love's Field. So a base hit by Edwards, a walk to Morgan Styles. Runners at first and second for the Bulldogs. And Morgan Bernardini will be the batter.
A little 2-out rally for the Bulldogs, and something they know oh so well. This is such a great 2-out team. And this offense thrives with 2 outs and finding ways to clutch up and get that timely 2-out hit. A big spot here for Bernardini.
Hits this one down the left field line, a fair ball. Edwards is around third to score. The throw's going to come into the plate and not in time to get the second base runner, Styles. So it's a 2-run double for Morgan Bernardini, and just as they did in the opening game today, the Bulldogs have climbed out on top.
The double by Bernardini and those 2 RBI push this Bulldog offense up to over 100 RBI with 2 outs this season. Unreal. And this Mississippi State team, they start fast. We've heard Coach Ricketts say it. We start fast and we get on teams quickly. Now the key for this Mississippi State team, withstanding that, taking it through those middle innings and extending that momentum deeper into the ball game.
9th double of the year for Bernardini. And RBIs 31 and 32. And a 2-0 start for Mississippi State. Jessie Blaine, the designated player. Hit pretty well, left center field. Hanakor is back. This ball is gone. It's a two-run blast from Jesse Blaine. Mississippi State had a 4-0 lead in the first inning of the opener. They have a 4-0 lead in game number 2 of the day.
Jesse Blaine absolutely smashing this pitch that did not get to the inner part of the plate. You can see in Sam Landry's reaction immediately off the bat. But just as they have done, I'm going to continue to say it because I want to hammer home how impressive this Bulldog offense is with 2 outs. That is something that is so difficult to teach and such a difficult concept to get your team to buy into, of finding a way to start rallies and drive runners in with 2 outs on the board. It is so disheartening for pitchers in the opposing team. So such a huge start for the Bulldogs.
3rd home run of the year, RBIs 24 and 25 for Jesse Blaine, and an early visit from Oklahoma pitching coach Jen Rocha. I bet she may not have had to make a circle visit with Sam Landry in the first inning all season long, but here she is. And this was after the first 2 batters went fairly easily. A pop up to short and a ground ball to short. And now it's base hit, walk, double, homer, and a 4-0 lead for the Bulldogs.
And 2 quick outs, but you go back to the single that started it all. The single by Kylie Edwards. Ground ball hits the bag and kind of bounces over. Sort of an interesting kind of chain of events. You follow that up, all of a sudden you have a walk that follows it, and Mississippi State just taking advantage, seeing their opportunity and seizing it.
So here is the catcher, Ella Wesolowski. First pitch swinging, foul just outside of 3rd. Well, that was a good play down there by Nelly McEnroe-Marinas. I know it was a foul ball, but a one-hop throw over to first. Wesolowski 0 for 3 on Friday, 0 for 1 in the earlier game today. Missed about 15 games early this season, battling a concussion. Had a great weekend last week against Missouri. 6 hits and 7 at-bats.
The 7-8-9 in this Mississippi State lineup. Look at the first game earlier today, and the 8 hits that Mississippi State put up all came from the top half of the lineup. 1 through 6 where the run production came. 7-8-9 hitters were 0 for in game 1.
Ilana Agbayani takes care of Wesolowski, but the Bulldogs take a big bite out of the Sooners. And Jesse Blaine hits the big blow. 2nd home run of the day for the Bulldogs. 2-run shot and a 4-0 lead. Oklahoma coming to the plate for the first time in this one. We come back. She faces one of the best offenses in the country, DJ.
Take care of the first out of the inning, and that sounds so elementary. But for Lexi Sosa, she does a good job of mixing speed. She does a good job of moving her pitches all directions. But where the Sooners are able to really gain momentum is when they are putting the leadoff of the inning on. So important for her to limit her free passes and do everything she can to retire the first out of the inning.
Cassidy Pickering hit the first pitch she saw in the first game today, out. Solo home run. She'll be followed by McEnroe-Marinas and Ella Parker, who was on base 4 times in the earlier game. Hard hit ground ball, bobbled at second by Zion Romero, who's in there at second base for the first time today. And that's going to be an error to start things against Mississippi State.
It's a good pitch by Sosa. Just in on the hands and getting the ground ball, but Romero not able to come up with it. And this is the piece for Mississippi State. You got the 4-run lead early. You've got to be clean. Take care of the ball.
Nelly McEnroe-Marinas now for the Sooners. Pickering took a big jump off of first base. Wesolowski's going to throw in behind her. Back in safely. McEnroe-Marinas looking for her first hit of the weekend. Was 0 for 4 earlier today, 0 for 3 back on Friday. First matchup. Lexi Sosa, grad transfer. She's out of San Diego, 6th-year player. Spent 2020 through 2023 at UCLA. Then had a redshirt year. And this is her 2nd year of action as a Bulldog, even though she's been in Starkville 3 years. And she has really been big time at the plate. 15 extra base hits for her, 10 home runs. And here she is in the circle in the nightcap of this doubleheader.
Yeah, two-way pitcher. And one thing that I always enjoy about pitchers who hit and pitchers who hit for power, they're able to take some of the aspects into their own hands, right? You've got Sosa, who has 10 home runs on the season, in the circle, getting a start today, and great pitch on the outer half to Nelly McEnroe Marinas. But it's fun to watch pitchers who can kind of be a part and be in everything. And just firing this curveball on the outer half. Big out.
So McEnroe Marinas strikes out. Here's Ella Parker. Ella Parker was on base 4 times in the earlier game. And she takes a strike. Scored 3 runs in the first game of the day. And for the series, she is 3 out of 4. Quickly 0-2.
Ella Parker, such a big piece of this Sooner offense. Safe to say she got a little bit of a slow start in SEC play.
Reaches out, rolls this one to the second baseman, Romero. Pickering is forced out at second base. Parker is safe at first. 2 gone.
Sosa so far doing a really good job of letting her infield work for her in the air to start the game, but responding quickly with the strikeout and then getting the ground ball of Parker.
This is smashed by Garcia, who turns and burns and drives this one 8 rows deep into right field. It's a 4-2 ball game. Gabby Garcia was sitting on that pitch, and she got all of it.
Shaping up to be very similar to what we saw earlier today. I'll see your home run and I'll match you. And Gabby Garcia, first pitch swinging. And taking this pitch 65 miles an hour, curveball on the inner half. And just launching it into the right field bleachers, and the freshman coming up clutch.
Home run number 12, RBIs 37 and 38 for Gabby Garcia. 4-2, and here's Sydney Sanders, who scored the tying run in the earlier game today.
We've seen it in different ways in this inning alone. The free pass in the top of the first to Morgan Stiles came around to score on the home run. And then the error that started the inning, but that play is made out of this inning before Gabby Garcia reaches the plate. So 2 essentially free base runners. And both of these offenses have capitalized on those mistakes.
Sanders is 3 out of 6 in the weekend series. 2 hits in the earlier game today. And a 4-pitch walk extends the inning. She is 5th amongst active players in career walks. That's number 146 for her career. And here's Ailana Agbayani. 2 two-run home runs already in this game. One by Jessie Blaine of Mississippi State and one by Gabby Garcia of Oklahoma.
First inning's where it's at for these teams today.
Isn't it?
Cricket numbers in both games right out of the gates.
13 runs combined in the first inning of the 2 games. Agbayani had a base hit, was 1 for 1 with a couple of walks in the first game, was 0 for 3 back on Friday night.
Sosa really working left and right. See her trying to catch that corner on the outer half and then come in hard with the curveball. And the same setup to each lefty.
2-2 the count. Patty Gasso into it early.
A little unhappy with that call.
Smokey Eads, our plate umpire. Karen Ellison is at third base. Emerus Addison is at first. Off the end of the bat, but pretty hard hit to Barbary, and the inning is over. But Oklahoma responds. Gabby Garcia, 2-run home run.
The freshman getting it done.
By the 2 teams. That one, Jessie Blaine. Mississippi State gave the Bulldogs a 4-0 lead. There's Gabby Garcia with a 2-run blast for Oklahoma. And 4-2 Bulldogs.
We are in the 8th inning of the day. Second here in the backside of the doubleheader. But you look at the body of these innings so far, starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon. It has just been a complete back and forth. And what has been a little bit, I'm going to even use the word bizarre, it has both of these teams matching each other almost identically.
And we've seen all but one pitcher on both staffs. I mean, only Oklahoma's Peyton Monticelli. She's the only rostered pitcher who has not pitched. And we're in the 2nd inning of game number 2.
Yeah, and we talked so much about this starting the day of when you've got a doubleheader, especially in the SEC, a top 15 matchup, you've got to be very deliberate with how you manage your staff. And you can have a plan, but here's the thing about this sport. Get rid of your plan sometimes and throw it out the window. And I feel like that's what we've seen a little bit today, especially early in these games when these offenses have just come out and lit this place on fire.
I think the plan is survive in the SEC. Full count here to Lexi Sosa. What a good offensive year that she's had. May have gotten a piece of that. It's strike 3 one way or the other. And the first strikeout for Sam Landry in this game.
And such a huge key for Landry so far in this series has been the change of speeds. That pitch coming in at 55 miles an hour and just catching Sosa out of time.
Kiara Sells to the plate. Oh for 4 so far in the series. Hit a big home run in the Missouri series last weekend. 2 home runs, in fact. Last Sunday, bouncing ball to second. And Agbayani takes care of Kiara Sells. Back to the top of the order for Sierra Sacco.
And throughout this series, Sells has been very quiet and kept quiet by this OU pitching staff. Can't stress how big of an out Sells has been in this series and not allowing her to kind of roll the lineup back over to Sacco.
Sacco popped up to Oklahoma shortstop Gabby Garcia the first time up. 2 for 4 in the earlier game with a home run.
She's such a fun player to watch. And really, I mean, you watch Mississippi State and their demeanor and the way they go about each inning. You can just see the fight in this team, the fun and the joy that they have playing the game.
Sacco pulls this one deep to right field and hits her second home run in this doubleheader. That one way out of here and gone. Similar spot to where she hit the home run to lead off game number 1. So a 2-homer day for Sacco and 5-2 Mississippi State in the second.
Sacco sitting on that pitch, almost like she was taking BP, reading the mistake on a pitch that did not catch much of a corner, and it was an absolute no-doubter. And you can see just the confidence from Sacco. And I'm going to continue to say it because it just continues to get more and more impressive. 2 outs. Putting runs on the board with 2 outs. And finding a way to break up the 1-2-3 inning. That is such a huge momentum shifter and a momentum killer.
Mississippi State 4 of 5 with 2 outs in this game. And all 5 runs have scored with 2 outs in an inning. Here's Nadia Barbary, who grounded out to short her first time. Barbary is 3 for 7 in the series. Jen Rocha is out to the circle to visit with Sam Landry. Jen Rocha is such a calming presence. And as Patty Gasso has said, she's the perfect pitching coach, perfect accompaniment for the coach that I am. Their personalities just work so well with each other.
Yeah, and there's such a feeling that you get from Coach Jen Rocha. And it doesn't matter if you are throwing the best game you've ever thrown or you are out there struggling. She has the same demeanor. She's going to have the same message. And I think that that's so important in the way that she gets her pitching staffs to respond. And you never see them get too high. You never see them get too low. And that is so critical when you're in the circle, because it's really easy to feel it when you're throwing well.
There you see it right there, just the 2 of them together. Off-speed pitch. Dots the outside edge. And it is 2-2 now. Nadia Barbary doubled back on Friday. 3 for 4 in the 2 for 4 in the earlier game, but down on strikes, and she's 0 for 2 in this game. So Landry gets her second strikeout of the inning, but gives up her second home run of the game. This one to Sierra Sacco, who has touched them all 2 times in this doubleheader. She has Mississippi State to a 5-2 lead, and their head coach smiling in the spot she once called home. 6th-year head coach of the Bulldogs and former Oklahoma Sooner. 4 times All-Big 12, 2 times All-American. Was OU's career home runs record holder when she left. Graduate assistant for Patty Gasso as well. Got to be pleased with the start that her team has gotten off to in each of the games here in this doubleheader.
Yeah, and when you talk to Coach Ricketts about this team, we start fast. She said it numerous times. We come out swinging, we come out and we start fast. The key, and one thing that this team is really focusing on the back half, and I say back half, the last couple weekends in SEC play and leading into the SEC tournament and postseason, is finishing games and playing better through the middle innings. Again, getting that start getting that quick start, gaining all that momentum, and then just sort of watching it slip through their fingers later in the game.
Corey Hicks rolls one to the shortstop. Kylie Edwards for the first out. Corey Hicks getting the start behind the plate here in game number 2 for Oklahoma.
But when you think about that being something that this team is working on, you look back at the first game of this doubleheader today, right? Quick start, put up 4 runs early, had a lead late into the game, and then a couple mistakes, couple opportunities that got missed and came up just a little bit short. And at times, you get the feeling that that's sort of been a little bit of a story for this Mississippi State team, especially on the back half and into SEC play.
You know, there's so many big picture things as you get to this stage of the season. Oklahoma's got a huge series coming up with Texas. Mississippi State has Kentucky as this one has popped up, and late communication between the left fielder Bernardini and the shortstop Edwards. And fortunately for the Bulldogs, Bernardini is able to hang on and get the out. 2 gone.
And all smiles from
when
Bernardini.
it works out.
But you can see that lack of communication, and when you're working and you see Kylie Edwards going back and back, your infielder is going to get that early call, but your outfielder will get the late call. And you can see Bernardini calling it almost from the get-go, and Edwards not peeling off quite quick enough, but got away with one there. Easter Bunny was looking out for him.
Yeah, Easter Bunny was. Here's Hannah Core. Hannah Core homered in the Friday game up in Oklahoma City. Always special to hit one out at Devon Field at the USA Softball Hall of Fame complex there, and Hannah Core did that. Her first home run of the year, second of her career.
Hannah Core, she's got sort of that sneaky pop, and she's very quick on the base paths and does a very good job of putting the ball in play. You don't necessarily look at Hannah Core and go power, but she's got it. She has power simply because she just has a clean, pure swing.
One and two the count on the number 9 batter. Well, Sosa has responded since giving up the home run to Garcia. She's retired 3 of the last 4 batters that she has faced.
Sosa, a little bit of a different tempo than what you see from some of the other pitchers on this Mississippi State staff. Working very quickly, gets the ball back on the rubber, very efficient. And that's something, as an offense, if you start to see her move into that rhythm, you got to find a way to distort it.
Well hit to left, and this ball is off the top of the wall, and it's gone. Hannah Core blasts one to left field. Her second home run in the last 3 games, and Oklahoma gets back to within 2. There's that sneaky power you were talking about.
Exactly. Just like what we were talking about, you put a good swing on a ball, it's going to leave the yard. That is a line drive swing, and Hannah Core didn't even necessarily finish her swing, but a line drive that just snuck over the wall on a pitch on the inner part of the plate. And Hannah Core, have a weekend.
We've had 4 home runs hit in this game already, but we're not even through 2 innings. How does it feel to be a pitcher, DJ?
A lot of game left. A lot of game left. But one thing both of these teams are showing, you make a mistake, these teams are attacking. Both of these offenses have attacked mistakes, and not just for a base hit. I mean, we are seeing mistakes be absolutely punished. But you got to find a way to stay off the wide of the plate.
How about Hannah Core? She had played 24 games this season, hadn't hit a home run. Last 3 games, she's become Jocelyn Oliver. Cassidy Pickering homered in the first game of the day. She was safe on an error at second base in her first at bat of this game. So now we'll see the response of Sosa.
And we saw it in the first. The error to start the game, the home run of Gabby Garcia, the walk, and then settling in for 3 batters. I say settling in. We're moving
That is crushed, turned on, and hit down the right field line into the corner by Pickering, who stops at second base with a 2-out double.
And Oklahoma showing that they can start a rally with 2 outs. Pickering going down to get this pitch, just keeping her hands inside the ball. There are so many hitters that would take that pitch and hook it into the right field net, and everyone goes ooh and ah. But such a good piece of hitting from Cassidy Pickering, keeping her hands inside that ball and being able to keep that pitch fair.
Taryn Moat-McKinney, the second-year pitching coach for Mississippi State, out to visit with Lexi Sosa. Numerous pitchers have transferred into Mississippi State. Raylan Chafin came in from LSU, one of those that certainly wanted to work with one of the all-time best, Taryn Moat-McKinney. Just a quick visit there, kind of a reset there. Cassidy Pickering's double is for her 11th on the year. Now Oklahoma, this is what Oklahoma has done over the years. They've always had a response. And here they are now with the potential tying run at the plate. And Nelly McEnroe-Marinas, who struck out her first time. She was trying to tie it with that swing.
A big hack. A little out in front.
There's the off-speed pitch, a little low.
Sosa trying to get these hitters off balance. First pitch to open the at-bat. Under 60 miles an hour, bringing that pitch into the 40s.
1-2. There's a throw in behind Pickering. Wazlowski trying to catch Pickering napping a little bit.
Wazlowski's shown off the arm, and rightfully so, keeping these Sooner base runners honest. Quite a few opportunities here today, throwing in behind runners.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Nelly McEnroe-Marinas. Oklahoma now sitting 12-5 in SEC play, even with Texas in the loss column for second place behind Texas A&M, who's 13-4. Pretty well hit to right, backing up is Sells, and this ball is out of here. We're tied. Nelly McEnroe-Marinas. 5th home run of the game combined already.
And we're in the 2nd. And McEnroe-Marinas answering the call, and this is the timely hitting. And McEnroe-Marinas making an adjustment. We've seen Mississippi State pitching go to that outer half to Nelly in both games today. Got her on that pitch on the outer half back in the first for the strikeout, and then seeing the adjustment.
So Oklahoma 3 home runs in this game. All the runs have been scored via the long ball for the Sooners.
And something that's becoming a factor, again, just in the 2nd inning. 10 runs being put up on the board between these 2 teams. But you got to go back to the fact that this, and out of control of anybody else because of weather, but being moved to a doubleheader, it changes your options when you've got this many runs being put up this early in the game as far as where you can go in your bullpen, especially after you had to run through a large chunk of your bullpen in game 1 here today.
And the opposition has seen every pitcher that you have, and they've seen them today. That is now for Oklahoma, 82 home runs as a team this year. And Ella Parker draws the walk. You've been talking about all of the 2-out hitting. Man, it has been in evidence today. Oklahoma's 2 home runs coming with 2 outs in this inning. And it has extended now as Parker draws the walk. Garcia, who homered back in the first, will bat again.
Just so much fight from both of these teams. And as you're watching, every half inning has been so similar.
Popped up. Shallow left field coming in, Bernardini, and the inning is over. But a prosperous one for the home team. Sooners get 3 runs on 2 home runs. And this game is all tied, headed to the 3rd. Smacking them like gigantic Easter eggs. All 5 of Oklahoma's runs in this game have scored via the long ball. Now can either pitcher, you feel like you hit the reset button, you want to stop things and kind of reset. Which pitcher can do it? Is it going to be Sosa or is it going to be Sam Landry for Oklahoma?
There's the million-dollar question, right? And at this point, nearly midway through the ball game, you're 0-0. You've got to find a way to make adjustments. And, with all of that, such a huge key. And Coach Gasso has talked about it all week. Limit the free passes and keep the ball in the yard. That goes both sides. You talk to Coach Ricketts, same thing. You can't defend the long ball and you can't defend walks. And if you notice the way that these games have gone, when pitchers are hitting spots and giving their defense an opportunity to make plays, they're making plays behind it. But Sam Landry at this point, falling behind here, 3 balls and a strike. And again, one thing since the start of this game that has been a little bit noticeable as Emmerling has come in behind the plate.
She has.
But some of Landry's misses have not been competitive. Balls in the dirt, pitches way off the plate. And that's always a sign. That's always a sign and kind of a telltale for how well your pitcher is showing command.
Kylie Edwards draws the leadoff walk here in the 3rd. So Landry now working to Isabella Emmerling, who's behind the plate. She has replaced Corey Hicks, who went the first 2 innings behind the dish. Morgan Stiles walked and scored back in the first. Stiles scored on the double by Bernardini. To center field, ranging back is Hannah Core, and she'll pull it in just shy of the warning track out there for the first out. Hit pretty well there by Morgan Stiles.
Yeah, squared up well. And Hannah Core patrolling the outfield and making it look easy, but Stiles squaring the ball up well. And Mississippi State starting to make some adjustments against Landry that you didn't see in game 1 or 2 of this series.
Here's Bernardini, who doubled home run and then scored on the home run by Blaine in the first. Life in the SEC. Some great series, most of which are concluded already this weekend. Texas A&M taking 2 of 3 from Missouri in Columbia. Down in Austin, kind of a back and forth series. Texas winning 2 of 3 from LSU. How about Tennessee? Tennessee's starting to roll. They've won 5 straight. Remember, they were 7-6 at one point in conference play, but they've won 5 in a row, sweeping Auburn this weekend.
Yeah, Tennessee, you almost go back and you look at where that momentum for the Vols started. It started right here at Loves Field in that battle, in that series that they took from the Sooners.
Ole Miss takes 2 of 3 from Georgia in Athens. There's a swing and a miss. Off to second base goes Edwards, and she will slide in ahead of the tag.
And Mississippi State staying aggressive on the base paths. So many runs in the first game of this doubleheader. Being put in scoring position. and coming across to score because of the Bulldogs base running. And there's another example, and Bernardini doing a good job of protecting the runner.
Tough wind here, crashing into the wall as Abigail Dayton, and the ball lands foul. And it's so hard. We've talked about it, how that wall angles out toward the field of play. And I don't think there's any, typically you can kind of get your gauge on it in warm-ups or as you're taking fly balls out there, but in the heat of battle, it's so tough to feel where that fence is.
And it gets on you quickly, and you can see Dayton getting right there at the railing, and almost like the ball bounced off the top of the railing.
Swing and a miss, strike 3 to Bernardini.
Big out. Landry climbing the ladder with the rise ball.
Third strikeout for Sam Landry in this one. She struck out 6 in the meeting between these two teams back on Friday. Complete game, 3-hitter. And she's already given up 5 runs in this game. Here's Blaine, who crashed a 2-run home run in the first. Chopper. Sooners will let this one roll foul as it hit home plate and then just rolled on foul. So you had also this weekend Florida able to take 2 of 3 from Alabama. Gators winning that one. Arkansas is out of conference play. There's one other series that's still going on in Columbia, South Carolina. South Carolina and Kentucky. South Carolina won game 1, 14-1 yesterday. They're playing game 2 right now, and then they've got the Monday game. They will play one more on Monday out there in Columbia, South Carolina. We mentioned the bigger picture of things, and we'll get into it a little bit later on, but not only are you talking about winning these series, you're talking about regional hosting, you're talking about getting seeding for the SEC championship, and that will allow you to get some more days off. Remember, we go to Athens, and seeds 1 through 4 get to take the first 2 days off. Seeds 5 through 9 get to skip the first day, and if you're seed 10 through 15, you got to play opening day, one of those 3 games. That's a tough road, single elimination.
Yeah, and you hear all of these coaches and these teams understand, but you start getting so deep into April, you start thinking about RPI and being in that position to host, a super regional. And Mississippi State is one of those teams that has been right there as far as having that opportunity to host.
Wild pitch will move Edwards down to third.
But the Oklahoma Sooners have had numerous postseasons here as of late. As this pitch, again, just a big miss that gets away. And kind of the tale of 2 pitches. High up in the zone, gets away to the backstop, and then that big miss down in the dirt. So you can kind of see Landry not getting those conversion pitches. Needing to find a way to tunnel her pitchers and get through the zone.
She gives up the 2-out walk to Jessie Blaine. So 2 walks in the inning now. And 3 in the game issued by Landry.
Again, going back to the things you can't defend. 3rd walk in the game. And here's a turning point for this Bulldog offense. The 7-8-9 has been very quiet. They have not gotten a hit today in game 1 of the doubleheader, and then going through the first time in the lineup. All of the run production for the Bulldogs has come at the top half of the lineup.
And that goes for the first 2 games, 7-8-9 without a hit, neither Friday nor the opening game today. Now Blaine has been a factor. She's in the number 6 spot, and she's at first base. Here's Ella Weslowski, the catcher. Grounded out to second base her first time. And Landry peels ball one just a little bit outside. Landry has been featured in all 3 games of this series prominently for Oklahoma. A win Friday, a save earlier today. But she's laboring here in game number 2.
Yeah, a lot of pitches, 62 pitches. And just in the 3rd inning, working deep into counts. And again, seeing those big misses.
Weslowski shoots this one into center. Core dives and makes a spectacular catch. Hannah Core rips it off the outfield turf and robs Ella Weslowski of extra bases.
Can't ask for much more than that off the bat of Weslowski, but Hannah Core making a big-time play to keep runs off the board for the Bulldogs.
Five game, final game of this 3-game set between Oklahoma City and Norman this weekend. Oklahoma's already taken the series, and Mississippi State looking to salvage game number 3. Been overcast. We had 4.5 inches of rain in a 24-hour period, but you would not know it. Loves Field is in great shape. We've had 2 good ones today. Sydney Sanders leads off for Oklahoma here as we reach the bottom of the 3rd. She's 3 for 6 in 2 games today. She walked back in the 1st inning of this game. Sosa deals, and this one is whipped foul off the Oklahoma dugout over on the 3rd base side. Mississippi State playing doubleheader number 4 in SEC play alone. And as we mentioned earlier, their non-conference weekend, they played a doubleheader in that 3-game series with Northwestern.
I can tell you this, that Mississippi State coaching staff, Coach Sam Ricketts, has got her eyes on the weather for that Kentucky series next week.
Man, that will be in Lexington. Oklahoma has Texas coming to Norman. Radar Ricketts, I believe.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. Ripped down the left field line, but it just twists foul off the bat of Sydney Sanders. Sydney Sanders, such an integral part of Oklahoma winning national championships. 54 career home runs. That's 4th amongst active players. Hit 15 of them last year. 3rd year as a Sooner. 217 career games at the collegiate level. 143 at Oklahoma.
And for Sydney Sanders, you think about, you can talk about the power numbers that she has over and over, but you've got to kind of give her the nod at how disciplined she is at the plate. And that makes it difficult to throw to her. You can throw a great pitcher's pitch just a little bit off the plate, and Lexi Sosa does something that a lot of pitchers don't get to do very often to Sydney Sanders, and get her to chase a pitch out off the plate.
As you said, a pitcher's pitch right there. One of the best thrown by Lexi Sosa so far.
And the curveball just breaking out almost to the chalk. And an uncharacteristic chase from Sydney Sanders, but what a pitch coming from Lexi Sosa for the first out.
2nd strikeout of the game for Sosa. Ilana Agbayani grounded out to the 3rd baseman Barbary, her first time.
Agbayani in the middle of all the scoring for the Sooners in the 1st game earlier today. Just so versatile in everything that she does in the box. Just really been impressed with her bat control. and does such a great job of reading pitches and working on time, but so much control with the barrel.
Drove in 2 runs in the earlier game, had a walk. One and 2 now to the Sooners' second baseman. She said her teammates give her a little bit of, I don't know if grief, but they enjoy her walk out of the batter's box in between pitches. They say that it's a very sassy walk. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sosa. She's retired 3 in a row.
And Sosa hitting some spots, and we asked who's going to settle in first. Sosa getting some big-time locations, and you see that pitch just get that downward break at the last minute on the outer half.
Don't look now, DJ, but we have a 0 in the top half of this inning and potentially a 0 in the bottom half of this inning out on the Oklahoma Panhandle of the giant State of Oklahoma scoreboard in center field. Not many zeros posted.
It has been all offense for both teams today.
Isabella Emmerling batting here in the number 7 spot. Corey Hicks started the game and batted, grounding out back in the second. Foul tip that's hung onto by Wesolowski.
If Sosa is able to retire the side here, again, it just goes back to both of these teams offensively and now in the circle, matching each other pitch for pitch.
Sosa really wanted that one. You talk about hitters making adjustments. The pitchers get a vote in that too. Turned on and crushed, foul up onto the concourse here at Loves Field. Fans chasing back toward that. Underneath there is the indoor hitting facility, which is one of the wonderful features of this just incredible facility. It's just a little over a year old. You heard Samantha Ricketts talking about getting to take a tour of Loves Field. Base hit to left. It's going to bound all the way to the wall. Played well by Bernardini out there. Her throw comes back in. Head first dive. And safe with the double is Isabella Emmerling. Bernardini made this a very close play with a nice bounce off the wall.
It's such a good adjustment and at bat by Emmerling early on the pitch before. And Sosa coming in with the off speed. I was sitting here thinking, expect off speed. You've got to sit and expect the off speed, and that's exactly what Emmerling did. And Bernardini getting the ball in quickly and truly making that play at second base a little bit closer than it should have been. But Emmerling attacking a pitch and hunting the off speed.
So the potential go-ahead run is in scoring position now for Oklahoma. Patty Gasso's team coming up with the response. They trailed this game 4-0. They trailed the first game of the day 4-0, but registered their 14th come from behind win of the season. Abigail Dayton now. She flied out to left field her first time. Sosa had back-to-back strikeouts to start the inning. Thought she had strike 3 to Emmerling, but gives up the double.
Let's see that Mississippi State defense, middle infielders, in a little tight.
Strike two on the outer half.
Sosa doing a good job. We talk about how quickly she works, but getting ahead and seeing a lot more 0-2, 1-2 counts.
Hit to third. Barbary throws a strike to first base, and the inning's over. A 2-out double goes by the boards, and we remain tied at 5 as we move to the 4th inning here in Norman. Hall of Fame head coach of the Sooners, 8 times a national championship winner, 4 straight. She has been through these, knows what to say every moment along the way. Her team tied at 5. By the way, the SEC crowned 2 national champions yesterday. Equestrian for the University of Georgia, and the 7th NCAA title for Oklahoma women's gymnastics. KJ Kindler's team winning down in Fort Worth, and congratulations to them and all of the NCAA championship winners around the SEC already. Pretty good bet. They'll be crowning one in softball. You got the, the top 4 teams, 6 out of the top 7 in the country.
There is a really good shot. The Women's College World Series looks like a copy of the SEC tournament.
Yeah. Lather, rinse, repeat from what we're going to see out in Athens, Georgia, coming up beginning May the 6th. Lexi Sosa swings through that one, and 1-2. Sosa struck out her first time. Just got a piece of that one.
Sosa spoiling a pitcher's pitch. Off speed, off the plate, and just getting rid of it.
Sosa scheduled to be followed by Kiara Sells, and then Sacco back to the top of the lineup for the Bulldogs here in this inning. In the air, pretty well hit to center. Wind's going to push it a little toward right center, maybe keep it in the ballpark, and chased down again by Hannah Core. I don't know that the wind hurt it, but I don't think that the wind helped it. Would you put it that way?
A little gust from the gods kept it in the park. But Hannah Core has been busy out there in this ball game and chasing it down at the warning track. But Wazlowski lined out to end the second, and that ball was also hit hard.
Oh, what a play by Garcia. The throw's not going to be in time, but just to get there, Gabby Garcia. Round of applause from the crowd for just the stab on this defensive play.
And Gabby Garcia not able to get the throw in time, but again, keeping this ball on the dirt, and how quickly she transitioned to get the throw off.
Well, Patty Gasso has said it numerous times, the middle infield defense has won Oklahoma ball games. Garcia will catch that one for the second out, and Kiara Sells will stay tied at first base. So Sacco swinging at the first pitch after homering back in the second.
And such a huge out to follow up the infield single, and just jamming Sacco in on her hands.
Nadia Barbary now with 2 down, and Sells over there at first. Barbary's 0 for 2 in this game. Third-year starter from Douglasville, Georgia. She was born at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. Already career highs in hits, homers, total bases.
And Barbary, we talk about just being a pure hitter. just sees the ball so well, but just puts smooth swings on the ball and hits for power, but also hits gap to gap. You hear Coach Ricketts talk about the competitiveness of this team. You know that these hitters kind of have that. You can just see it in the way that they go about their business. Oh yeah, I can do that too. And so you've got to love the competitiveness from this Mississippi State team.
Cal stays at 1-2 on Nadia Barbary. Again, it'll stay 1-2 on Barbary.
Doing what she's done really all series, going deep into counts. Now granted 1-2 here, but protecting the plate and getting rid of pitches, but seeing a lot of pitches each at bat.
Third straight foul ball off the bat of Nadia Barbary. All of them just running up the pitch count of Landry, who's pitched in all 3 games of this series. Complete game on Friday, then had the day off. She came in to finish up game number 1 today, going the final inning in 2/3. Got her swinging. We remain tied at 5. Some zeros now being hung by the pitchers.
And the goal for every team is to be standing at Devon Park come the end of May, early June. So having the opportunity to get your players on that field, have that experience, it's something that's invaluable.
And Court rolls this one to Zion Romero for the first out. So Oklahoma rolls the lineup over here. May have a pitching change on this next trip, and I think we will. As I see Tara Mowat-McKinney, the pitching coach, out to the circle, and activity coming out of the bullpen. So the plan was get Lexi Sosa through Oklahoma's lineup at least a couple of times and then turn it over to others. And it looks like the Bulldogs are going to send Josie Marin into the circle in a tie ball game in the bottom of the 4th. Lexi Sosa, 3 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. And she's given her team a chance to win this game, DJ.
She has, and started out giving up the 4 runs in the first, but really settled in and turned it into an outing that she can build on, but has her team in a position that a couple of runs can turn this game Mississippi State's way really quick. So did the job of settling in and kind of calming the game down, and now handing it over to Josie Marin.
And Josie Marin now has pitched in all 3 games of this series. She went 2 innings on Friday, gave just 1 hit, and then went an inning in the earlier game today, gave 2 hits and 2 earned runs. She'll face the top of the order, Cassidy Pickering, who was safe on an error in the first today, and then doubled and scored a run in the second. She homered in the first game.
And this is a spot for Josie Marin. One thing that Coach Ricketts has really stressed that she wants to see from this team.
Pickering with a bunt that came to a stop about 6 inches in front of the plate, and Wesolowski fired a strike down there to Styles.
Showing that defense to take away the short game. Cassidy Pickering trying to catch him sleeping, but Marin a good start getting the first out, and this bunt just didn't quite scoot out to where it needed to be. Good job by Mississippi State. But Marin, an opportunity here to get Mississippi State in the middle of this ball game and get some momentum in the Bulldog dugout. That is one place where this team has struggled. Again, getting the fast start. 4 runs in the first, 1 run in the second, and then have hung a pair of zeros. So Marin, a spot here to come in and get some momentum for Mississippi State in the middle innings of this ball game.
To third and just foul as it skips outside the bag. Nelly McEnroe-Marinas clubbed a 2-run home run back in the second. That's actually the last score that we've had. 10 runs in the first 2 innings combined, nothing since.
Yeah, it felt like every time we turned around, there was a ball leaving the yard, runs being put up, and then pitchers kind of saying, this isn't how this game is going to go. We're not going to put a slow pitch softball score up today. Started hanging some zeros.
Bouncing ball to short. Nice hop there to Edwards. A little bit of a low throw. But the inning is over. 1-2-3 go the Sooners for the first time in this game. And we're on to the 5th inning, tied at 5 at Lux Field in Norman on SEC Network Plus.
1 through 6 is where Mississippi State has gotten all of their production. 7 through 9, 0 for 5 in game 2, 1 for 5 here in game 3. But here's what you notice. 7-8 lined out, flew out at the warning track. So 7-8-9 starting to see the ball better, just not able to get anything to fall yet.
Callie Edwards, the shortstop, leads things off against Oklahoma's Sam Landry. Landry's thrown now 78 pitches in this game.
We always talk about momentum and going through 3, 4, 5 for Mississippi State. Sam Landry back in the circle, trying to follow up a scoreless inning. But Mississippi State pitchers, the first 1-2-3 inning of the day in the 4th.
Landry gathers that one up and throws Edwards out. Sam Landry pitched that complete game on Friday, but it was efficient. She threw only 85 pitches in that game. She's nearly thrown as many in this game as she did in 7 innings on Friday. Gave up just 3 hits in that ball game. Threw 27 pitches in her inning and 2/3 earlier today. Here's Morgan Stiles, 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored in this game.
And definitely going deeper into counts. But one thing as this game has sort of progressed is those big misses that we were seeing from Sam Landry in the 1st and 2nd, even in the 3rd inning, 4th inning. All of her misses were competitive. You didn't see balls taking Emmerling high or in the dirt. So starting to work around the zone and get a little bit tighter with her pitches.
One and 2 to Morgan Stiles. Morgan Stiles now 2 out of 7 in the weekend series. She's reached base safely in 9 straight games, including a walk earlier in this one. She scored on Bernardini's double back in the 1st inning. Mississippi State, 2-run base hit by Bernardini in the 1st and a 2-run home run by Blaine. Oklahoma, 2-run home run by Garcia. And then Sacco hit a solo shot in the top of the 2nd for the Bulldogs. Hannah Core hit a solo home run for Oklahoma in the bottom of the 2nd. And then Nelly McEnroe-Marinas tied this game with a 2-run home run in the 2nd. And that's where we stand, 5 apiece. 5 home runs combined in this game.
And
Full
that's
count.
a nice location from Sam Landry. And just off the plate, it was a ball. I know you hear the groans, but it was barely off the plate. So good discipline from Morgan Stiles. And again, working Landry deep into counts, continuing to get that pitch count up. And you gotta love the 2-2. Just off the plate. And Isabella Emmerling doing a good job of handling it. And tremendous pitch. Emmerling making it look a little closer maybe than it was.
McEnroe Marinas throws out Morgan Stiles. 2 up and 2 down. A little bit of flair down there at third. McEnroe Marinas. That's 8 out of the last 10 batters retired by Sam Landry. And trying to work her first 1-2-3 inning of the ball game as she faces Bernardini. Bernardini doubled, plating Stiles, and then scored on Blaine's home run in the first. He's also walked. That was back in the third. Cut off by McEnroe Marinas, and Landry counters with a 1-2-3 inning of her own. To the 6th we go. Sooners and Bulldogs tied at 5. The tenor of this game. We've got 5 straight half innings with a 0 up there by this combined pitching trio. And we got time called here by Josie Marin. She's got something wrong with her tablet on her arm. Also have a new left fielder for the Bulldogs. Kalani Sells is into the game. She has replaced Morgan Bernardini. There's Kalani Sells. So you've got Kiara in right and Kalani in left.
Josie Marin back to work for the Bulldogs, and 2 quick outs when she entered this game in the 4th. But Mississippi State looking to get innings out of the arms that they've got in the bullpen. You heard Coach Ricketts. It's going to take our entire staff to find a way to get through this game. A big inning here, going 3-4-5 for Marin.
Ella Parker, Gabby Garcia, Sydney Sanders, 3, 4, and 5 in the Oklahoma lineup. Scheduled to come to the plate against Josie Marin. Ella Parker walked back in the 2nd, reached on a fielder's choice, and scored on Garcia's home run back in the 1st. Ella Parker 2 for 2 in the earlier game today and had a double back on Friday in this series.
Marin falls behind, 3 balls and a strike. Talking about the keys in the circle for Mississippi State is taking care of the first out of the inning. And they have had success in this game of keeping the Sooners off the board. But when that first runner has gotten on, the Sooners have scored every single inning that they put their first runner aboard.
Payoff pitch and a leadoff walk to Ella Parker. 2nd time that she's walked in this game. They're being really careful with Ella Parker, with good reason.
It's fair, right?
Can't say that I blame them.
The tough part about that is you've got Gabby Garcia, Sydney Sanders following up right behind her, but it's tough. You walk that fine line of being careful and then putting Ella Parker on base. And let's not forget, Ella Parker has got some wheels as well.
Up and in, skims the glove of Wesolowski. And Ella Parker scoots down to 2nd base. Wild pitch.
And this pitch up in the zone. and just getting away from Wesolowski. And Sooners have a runner in scoring position without having to put the ball in play.
Go-ahead run in scoring position for Oklahoma. Gabby Garcia homering earlier. First home run in the month of April. And she smashed it to right field. Gabby Garcia was also a decorated javelin thrower. What's that look on your face? You seem shocked by that. I mean,
I
it's
did not
natural,
know
right?
that. I don't know if anything about the javelin is natural.
No, that's a good point. You think, how do softball and javelin throwing go together? I mean, there's throwing involved in both, but
impressive nonetheless.
and that's back-to-back walks to start the inning for Marin. And as you heard Samantha Ricketts say, you cannot give Oklahoma free chances.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here in the fifth. Back-to-back walks to put runners aboard for Sydney Sanders. And you got a tight ball game as Wesolowski is out having a chat with Marin, but they've got to find a way to be in the strike zone and put the pressure on the hitter.
That is 9 walks that Oklahoma has taken in the 2 games combined today. Sydney Sanders drew one of those back in the first inning today. Turns on this one and pulls it just a little bit foul down the left field line. Sydney Sanders tied the first game of the day with an RBI single in the bottom of the 5th inning. And then Oklahoma won when Gabby Garcia scored. Actually took the lead and eventually won. Gabby Garcia scored on a wild pitch also in that 5th inning. 6-5 was the final earlier. 2 strikes here. Good comeback pitch there by Marin.
It is, and I got a feeling that is a pitch Sydney Sanders would like to have back.
One and 2 to Sanders. Ilana Agbayani will follow. Marin, the second pitcher of the day in this game, used by the Bulldogs. Lexi Sosa went 3 1/3 innings, and she gave up all 5 runs so far.
Marin a spot here. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Back-to-back walks. She got that 2-2 count. Make a pitcher's pitch low in the zone.
Good hack at that one by Sanders. And another foul ball off the bat of Sydney Sanders.
Sanders getting rid of pitches until she can find something to drive. And again, Marin continuing to kind of nibble at the zone. You get the feeling you want to go off speed here, but I gotta say it needs to be probably down.
High fly ball, left center field, and caught by Sierra Sacco for the first out.
That's a big out and great battle by Josie Marin.
So Marin, the second pitcher used in this game. The Bulldogs used 4 pitchers. Beg your pardon, 3. Delaney Everett, Josie Marin, and Raylan Chafin in the first game. As we see pitching coach Taryn Mowat McKenney out to chat. And we don't know the availability of Raylan Chafin for this game. We do know there's going to be a pitching change, though. So the Bulldogs back to the bullpen. And coming on to try to limit things is going to be Delaney Everett when we return. She pitched 3 2/3 innings total, gave 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned with 3 walks and 3 strikeouts. And Delaney Everett did not pitch in the game on Friday between the two teams. But if you were asking Samantha Ricketts, you got a chance to win. You're in a tie ball game in the 5th inning, and Delaney Everett's still fairly fresh. You can put her into a game with a chance to win it. Do you think she would have taken it?
Absolutely. And, you know, we're seeing here the lefty-lefty matchup, and it looks like it's going to pay off as Agbayani is retired in 1 pitch by Everett.
Quick 1-hopper. It's taken to the bag by Riley Hall.
A big spot here for Emmerling. You know, the ground ball of Agbayani, first pitch, able to move both runners into scoring position.
In the air, deep right field by Emmerling, and this ball is out of here. Isabella Emmerling crushes a 3-run shot to straightaway right field, and Oklahoma, once down 4-0, has an 8-5 lead.
And there was no doubt Emmerling stepping in the box and attacking first pitch. And that is the timely hitting that has been missing from this Oklahoma offense here as of late, and getting it done with the opposite field shot, and it's got to feel good for Bella Emmerling.
Oklahoma home runs in this game by Garcia, Core, McEnroe-Marinas, and Emmerling. 8-5.
And it's tough if you're Mississippi State, jumping out to that quick lead, and again, going back to wanting to see some better execution and be better in those middle innings. And if you look at both games today, that is where the Sooners have really kind of won the ball game. The 5th inning. Both games here today. And still some game left here, but the Sooners taking the lead in the 5th in game 1 of the doubleheader, and doing it again here in the 5th.
10 home runs, 31 runs driven in now for Isabella Emmerling. Abigail Dayton 0 for 2 in this game. Sydney Barker is going to pinch hit for Dayton in the number 8 spot.
Barker's gotten the call in some critical pinch hit situations, and just continuing to get opportunities. The freshman being in that position of taking on the role of being not an everyday starter.
6 of her 15 hits are home runs, but not this time. A ground out to Hull closes it, but Oklahoma crashes another home run. Garcia, Core, McEnroe-Marinas, and Emmerling with the 4th Sooner home run. The team has responded for the Hall of Fame head coach here this week, looking to sweep, and they've done it so resiliently, coming from behind, trailing 4-0 in each game today, and now after a 6-5 win, an 8-5 lead. But the Bulldogs have battled back all day long.
This game is far from over. I think if Mississippi State has shown anything in this series, and especially in the games today, they can hang with anybody as far as matching you blow for blow offensively.
In the earlier game, when things got close, Oklahoma tied the game at 4 apiece, and Mississippi State took the lead back. That was top of the 4th inning. Barbary came through with a clutch hit. They led 5-4 before Oklahoma got the final 2 runs. 1-hop throw by Garcia is able to get Jesse Blaine, who homered back in the 1st inning.
And Garcia going in the 5-6 hole to make this play. And Mississippi State has been squaring the ball up, but the Sooner defense has been stellar in this game. And that's a long throw coming from that 5-6 hole and just clean all the way around.
Here's Ella Wesolowski, the catcher, 0 for 2 in this game. Drilled straightaway left field, and it's gone. Wesolowski makes it a 2-run game. And that got out of here in a hurry.
And Wesolowski, in her last at-bat back in the 3rd, hit a line drive to Hannah Core in center field, who made a tremendous play to keep runs off the board. And Wesolowski coming back and taking this pitch that's just a little bit elevated in the zone. And again, just as we have seen all day long, if a pitch is not catching the black of the plate, it doesn't matter who's throwing it. It's leaving the yard.
Second home run of the season for Ella Wesolowski. We've got a 2-run game. That's the 3rd home run of the game for the Bulldogs. And Mississippi State has hit 4 homers on the day. Now Riley Hall, who came on and is playing first base, batting in the number 8 spot, replacing Lexi Sosa, the pitcher who was also hitting. First at bat of the game for Hall. Riley Hall's sister, Lex, is a South Carolina Gamecock. Her 4th year in this Mississippi State program.
See that miss hard in as Sam Landry's pitch count approaching 100.
Three and 1 to count to Riley Hall. Kiara Sells, you know, you've called for the 7, 8, 9 spot in this Mississippi State lineup to come around. Well, that home run by Wesolowski might do the trick. Pitch number 100 for Landry is a strike to make the count full on Hall.
Yeah, and one thing so critical, again, this is a tight game. We're talking one swing of the bat. Need the 8-9 to roll it back over, and Hull trying to draw the walk. But Sam Landry catching the outside corner for called strike 3.
Strikeout number 5 for Landry in this game.
And this pitch, screwball in the outer half, and just catching enough plate.
This one well hit. Center field, Core back to the wall, reaches up and has it. Kiara Sells drills one to the deepest part of the ballpark. But Hannah Core had just enough real estate to rob her of extra bases and a potential home run.
And Hannah Core having a blast.
Mississippi State Bulldogs sending them out to center field, and Hannah Core is chasing them down.
Yeah, Hannah Core has single-handedly taken multiple runs off the board for the Bulldogs today with her glove. And, you know, she's making catches at the warning track and making them look very simple. Now, that's the expectation, right? But the catch that she made, diving to end the inning, has kind of shifted this game. And let's not forget, she's done it with the stick too.
She Got to watch Jada Coleman make many plays like that out in center field on Oklahoma National Championship teams. Hannah Cora has made several in this series this weekend. She also homered back in the second inning, and she's hit a home run in 2 of her last 3 games. Seven home runs in this game, 9 in the doubleheader combined. Does that sound right, DJ? As a former pitcher, does it feel like 7 home runs in this game?
Well, yeah, but it's tough. And again, it's just been a back and forth battle between these teams. And, you know, you look early, and the wind played a factor in game 1 here today of this doubleheader. But as it's gotten a little bit later, as Coach Gasso's having a conversation with Sam Landry with 3 outs to go for the Sooners.
In the air towards center and left center, and Sierra Sacco chases down that fly ball off the bat of her center field counterpart. 1 away here in the 6th inning. I loved Samantha Ricketts' comment about weekends in the SEC. She said every weekend is like a super regional. And it is. The level of play and the ranked teams that you have to face week in and week out.
And you don't get that in every conference. And it's something, it is no accident that you see so many SEC programs still standing in Oklahoma City, right? It is an absolute grind to get through any season, but let alone when you are facing a top 25 team day in and day out just to get through conference play.
Because you think about all the adverse situations that you face in the postseason. The SEC regular season is constant adversity. Cassidy Pickering takes one outside. She doubled back in the second, homered in the earlier game. Tried to bunt her way aboard back in the 4th inning and was thrown out by the catcher, Wesolowski. Two and two now. One hopper speared by Everett, and the underhanded flip. 2 gone.
And 2 gone quickly for Everett. As we mentioned, Mississippi State offense down to their final 3 outs, and the opportunity to claw back in this ball game. So such a big spot here for Everett to make this a quick inning and keep this game in striking distance, because the Bulldogs have shown they can string things together, and when they need that big hit, all they need is 1 out.
Nellie McEnroe-Marinas walloped a 2-run home run back in the 2nd inning. Everett has retired 4 of the 5 batters that she has faced. Now, the only little fly in the ointment was the home run by Emmerling, and it was a 3-run home run because she inherited 2 base runners who had walked.
Yeah, and those free passes back in the 5th have turned out to be...
That's the difference.
Yeah, they have.
Those 2 walks. Maybe not now. That's going to be home run number 2 of the game for Nellie McEnroe-Marinas. She smashes a line drive out to straightaway left field. And Oklahoma back out to a 3-run advantage.
Second home run in the game for the captain, and that is a massive run for the Sooners. Again, just talking about how important it is to keep the Sooners off the board, and 2 quick outs from Everett. But Nellie McEnroe-Marinas taking this pitch again. Every missed pitch that has been dead red on the plate has been launched out of here, regardless of what team is in the box, and Nelly McEnroe Marinas doing it again to give the Sooners a little bit of insurance before they head to the 7th.
That's 8 home runs combined in the game, 2 for Nelly McEnroe Marinas. Sooners have hit 5 home runs. Bulldogs have hit 3. And here is Ella Parker.
And as you look, you talk about all the home runs. How many of these home runs have been with 2 outs? We've talked about the 2-out hitting so much throughout this ball game, but the Sooners, 3 of their home runs have been with 2 outs in this ball game.
Oklahoma is 7 for 12 with 2 outs in an inning. And as you said, 3 of those 7 hits have been home runs. Ella Parker has walked twice, scored twice.
Big swing. Nice pitch from Everett on the outer half.
Bulldogs will have the top of their lineup in the top of the 7th, down to their final 3 outs. And Parker is down swinging for the first time today. Everett finishes it, but another Oklahoma home run, and the Sooners try to close out a sweep when we come back to Loves Field. Loves Field and ESPN2 has the final 2 games of the series. The Red River rivalry, 3-game series. And if Oklahoma can hold on, then these 2 teams will be tied for 2nd place at 13-5. Patty Gasso's Sooners, it has been an adventure today, trailing each game of this doubleheader 4-0. They rallied for their 14th come from behind win of the year, 6-5 in the opener today, and this would be number 15 if they can close it out. Sam Landry in the series would have 2 wins and a save.
As she has been, we are going to continue to, I'm going to use your word, Chad, resilient. And it hasn't been always her best, but I mean, this is a good Mississippi State offense, and Sam Landry may not have had her best stuff every single inning so far in this game, but you got to see her be absolutely lights out in game 1, slam the door in game 2 to pick up the save, and has just been an absolute battle here in game 3.
Nicely played there as Landry climbs the ladder to retire the SEC's leading hitter, Sierra Sacco, who has hit 2 home runs in this doubleheader. She homered back in the 2nd, and now 1 for 4 in this game.
Using that height to get it done. Out of the circle, but a huge out of Sacco. Again, this game is not over as long as Mississippi State has an out, as long as Mississippi State has a strike. They have shown what they can do, regardless of if their backs are against the wall. Just a ton of fight from this Bulldog team.
Nadia Barbary is 0 for 3 in this game, but has had a good weekend series. Had 2 hits in the earlier game today, was 1 for 3 with the double back on Friday. 8 home runs in this game, 5 by the Sooners, 3 by the Bulldogs.
The way this day started, you would have thought those home runs were wind aided. It has turned out the wind settled down and just a beautiful day.
Landry has struck Barbary out twice in this game. 3 pitchers utilized by Samantha Ricketts and the Bulldogs in this game. Sam Landry has gone the route so far for the Sooners. And that check swing bounced off the roof and right back out to Isabella Emmerling, the catcher. Just getting a piece of that one. Barbary keeps the at-bat alive. Callie Edwards will bat next.
Barbary, as she's done all game, she has not had a lot of success off of Landry at the plate, but seeing a lot of pitches and trying to find her way on base and put something in play here.
And a full count. And Emmerling goes out for a visit with Sam Landry. Isabella Emmerling did not start this game behind the plate, but she's come on and she's doubled and homered once she's gotten into the lineup.
The 3-2 pitch here to Barbary. As much as we've talked about taking advantage of opportunities, you don't want to give Mississippi State an opportunity here.
Into the gap. Core will not catch this one. It's off the wall, and it was hit so hard that Barbary is going to be held to first base with a single. That ball was lashed by Nadia Barbary for her first hit of this game.
The deepest part of the field. And it was hit on such a line that it just couldn't leave the yard, right? I mean, she gets that a little bit more of an angle, and it's out of here, but long, hard hit single, and Mississippi State staying alive.
Here's Callie Edwards. Callie Edwards singled and scored back in the first. She's also walked and hit one back to the pitcher. Bulldogs led this game 4-0. They led 5-2. But Oklahoma just continues to bash balls out of the park. Sooners have hit 5 home runs.
Good change of speeds. And a hitter's count from Landry. Not allowing Edwards to sit on something hard.
Three balls and a strike. And a walk would bring the potential tying run to the plate in the top of the 7th inning. It would also get the cleanup batter to the plate in that situation. Morgan Stiles waits to bat next and would love the opportunity. Check swing roller to first. Sanders takes care of out number 2. Down to second base goes Barbary, but the Bulldogs are down to their final out.
Such a big pitch coming from Landry on the inner part of the plate, in on Edwards' hands, and getting that defensive swing in the 3-1. It's so important to work ahead, especially against Stiles.
Stiles 0 for 3 with a walk. She walked and then scored on a double by Bernardini in the first inning. Since then, she's flied to center and grounded to third. Landry peppers a strike, trying to close it out and get Oklahoma the series sweep. I mean, this crowd is hanging on every single pitch. One and 2 the count.
And you can just feel it. Again, the way that this day has gone, you hold your breath if you're a Sooner fan, because you know Mississippi State is here for a fight, and they have answered nearly every time.
Swing and a miss. The 6th strikeout of the game for Sam Landry. Gives the Sooners a sweep and their 15th come-from-behind win of the season. Oklahoma sweeps the weekend series, winning a doubleheader on Easter Sunday.
And Sam Landry stepping up big time for the Sooners in the circle. Again, Mississippi State giving the Sooners about all they could handle here today.